Good morning and welcome to the Dray Way. I'm so glad you're here. I am getting so excited. We are now down to 27 days. 27 days and we're about to elect a president. And I know what you're saying already. I know what you're saying. You're saying, I can't wait for this to be over. I know. But let me real quick before I get going. First of all, make sure, I'm glad you're here first. But secondly, let's make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button and sound off the alerts so that you know when there's a new show, because there's a new show every single day. But I'm glad you're here. Let's talk about a few things. The first thing I want to talk about right now is the breakdown of all 7 swing states and the reason Harris is going to win all 7 swing states, in my opinion. But I want to break it down for you state by state with just 27 days to go. I want to break it down for you so you understand why I believe what I believe is going to happen on election day. Let's start with Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin not only is neighbors to Minnesota, being neighbors to Minnesota, they're already familiar with Tim Walz. So I think that is a huge advantage for the Harris-Walz team. But that's not where the advantage ends. They also have 2 big major metropolitan areas in Wisconsin, in Madison and Milwaukee. And in Madison and Milwaukee, you also have a huge black vote in both of those areas. So with that being said, and those areas, especially Milwaukee being so prominently for Harris, it leaves the Trump campaign little hope of winning Wisconsin. So that's Wisconsin. Now let's talk about Michigan. With 27 days out, Michigan, of course, looks very, very blue, and it looks blue for one major reason, and that reason is Detroit. Detroit is 3 times the size of any other city in Michigan. And the vote coming out of Detroit this time, with voter registration being what it is in Detroit, it is going to be huge this election. And guess what is also huge coming out of Detroit? The black vote. The black vote is huge in Detroit. And once again, it favors Walz and Harris. And it looks like a 4, 5, maybe even 6-point win in Michigan. So she's got Wisconsin. She's got Michigan. Now let's move over to Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania, I want you to understand, Pennsylvania, I'm not going to pretend like that's an easy state to win, but it's a state that it also requires a huge ground game. It is a state that requires a lot of boots on the ground, a lot of volunteers to cover a lot of ground. Pennsylvania is a very large state, and she has been doing this now steadily for 2 months. She has had thousands and thousands and thousands of volunteers going door to door, picking up the phone, doing all the things necessary to bring home Pennsylvania. But not only that, there are 2 major, and when I say major voting blocks coming out of Pennsylvania, it's Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, and Philadelphia, the vote out of there is going to net her, out of Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, she is going to net positive about 650,000 votes. Think about that for a minute. 650,000. She goes up immediately. Now, how do you make up 650,000 votes in the rest of the state? It's just not going to be able to be done. So for that reason, she's going to win Pennsylvania. And that, before we even talk any further, that gets her to 270. Based on what she already has as a blue state, those 3 swing states, she's at 270 already. There's no changing that. It's 270 is 270. That's what the election is all about. Once you get the 270, it is over. But let's continue. North Carolina, and I know a lot of people split with me on this. A lot of people are saying, no, it's still going to go red. I disagree. I think North Carolina is blue for 2 reasons. The youth vote is going to be huge in North Carolina. 173 colleges and universities. And I expect a record youth vote coming out of North Carolina. The youth vote being 18 to 29 years old. With that being said, and Charlotte, the black vote coming out of Charlotte is going to be huge. The voter registration in the Charlotte area has been huge. So for those reasons, I'm giving her the edge in North Carolina. So that's 4 of the swing states. Number 5, let's talk about Georgia. And Georgia is the same type of thing going on in Georgia. When I say the same type of thing, Georgia is all about Atlanta, Atlanta, Atlanta. DeKalb County, the vote now that comes out of Atlanta is massive. It is huge. So with the huge vote coming out of Atlanta, and that vote being largely black vote, and it's primarily going to go towards Harris, there's just not the availability to make up votes throughout the rest of the state. Atlanta is that big. Atlanta is that dominating. And the Harris Walls ticket is going to dominate Atlanta. And hopefully, wink, wink, hopefully Obama makes a trip to Atlanta, because I would love to see him in a large stadium in Atlanta. I think that would be awesome. But so that's number 5. Number 6, we really don't have to talk much about. It's Nevada. Nevada's going blue. Nevada isn't going to be that close. I think the mix of what's going on as far as the union workers, and the union workers here in Nevada are really for Harris. So I don't think I need much more explanation. And, Nevada has been consistently voting blue for the last few cycles, so I see no change. And last but not least, this week she is heavy in Arizona. This week she's going to solidify herself. She is in Arizona this week, and she is going to be in Tucson. She's going to be in Phoenix. I expect huge crowds, today and tomorrow. She is going to solidify Arizona with this trip in the next 2 days. But anyway, welcome to the Dray Way. I'm glad you're here. Please, in the comments, let me know what you think of the 7-state breakdown. Is she going to win all 3? Or do you think she's going to win 6 or 5? Let me know in the comments. I'm predicting a complete blue shutout. If you have a different opinion, put it in the comments. I appreciate it. And welcome to the Dray Way. All right, this is something I have to talk about. This is something, and I really want to get your guys' opinion on this, because it's really starting to bother me. And I don't know if it's bothering you yet, but it's bothering me. And that is, everyone takes an oath when they take office. Even the president takes an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I want somebody to explain to me at this point how we cannot see Donald Trump as an enemy, as a domestic enemy. And I know you're going to be like, what? But in all seriousness, how can we not see him as anything else? I mean, Bob Woodward just came out with a story that Donald Trump has talked to Putin no fewer than 7 times since leaving the White House. Now, Bob Woodward has a history of truth-telling for 50 years plus. So I have a tendency to believe what Bob Woodward says. So with that being true, why is Donald Trump talking to Putin 7 times? Especially when Putin is a murderer, has killed hundreds of thousands of people, and he's a former KGB agent who is literally trained on how to make people assets for Russia. So why is Donald Trump, who can be so easily persuaded on anything if you just say, hey, Donald, nice suit. Why is he talking to a KGB agent, former KGB agent, and now head of Russia? Why? Why would he be doing that? Somebody needs to explain it to me. And somebody needs to explain to me how, with all the things this man is doing, including just making up complete lies, just trying to separate us Americans who are trying to help people, and especially, in North Carolina and Tennessee and Georgia and now soon Florida, after the hurricane hits today, there's going to be people that lose everything. And instead of coming together as a nation, instead of coming together as a country, he wants to go, oh, well, FEMA's not doing this and FEMA's not doing that. And, the government could be doing. I want you to remember, this is a party that makes hay, or it wants there to be a perception out there, and they want to continue the perception that the government can do nothing. Republicans believe the government is useless. The government can't do anything. What do you need the government for? The government's terrible, but they want to run it. So of course they want to put it out there for whatever reason that things aren't being done and you can't count on the government. And they're putting this noise out there, even though the governors of these states have been like, yeah, that's not the case. The government has given us everything we've asked for. They're here for us. That's not true. That's just one example of Donald Trump being anti-American. And that's what that is. That's being anti-American. These are people in true need. And people are trying to step up and help these people. And instead of Donald Trump helping and promoting, all he does is walk around and talk about how terrible this country is. I am tired of it, folks. I'm tired of it. Not just of him, but of Republicans walking around, oh, things are terrible, things are awful, things are this, things are that, blah, blah, blah. I'm tired of it. The United States, our economy is fine. Our job market is fine. We're doing well. And everybody wants to point, well, things have gotten more expensive. Yeah, welcome to the world. That's what's happened around the world. Around the world, things have gotten more expensive. It's not a USA problem. It's a world problem. All right? And world problems need real solutions from real people that know what they're doing. And Donald Trump has made it real obvious. He has no idea what he's doing. And in fact, he's not doing anything to be positive about this country. All he does anymore is down talk. You'll notice that you can tell immediately when somebody is Republican because everything's awful. Everything's terrible. Even though, like I said in a previous video, the stock market is number one in the world. Our economy is number one in the world. Our currency is number one in the world. Our oil and gas production is number one in the world. We're number one in the world. And Republicans want to sit around and go, oh, things are terrible. Oh, things are awful. Oh, things are so bad. We don't have time for this anymore. That's why I'm so excited. And I know we're 27 days out, but we're 27 days away from a woman president. We're 27 days away from looking forward, looking to a positive future, looking to someone with some type of vision. I mean, just yesterday, Harris spoke to me. President-elect Harris spoke directly to me. And when I say she spoke directly to me, she was on The View and she was talking about, about those people that are stuck in the middle, sandwich people, I guess they're called, or something like that. And you're raising a child and kids, and you're also taking care of elderly parents. That's me. She was speaking about me, and she had a solution for me. And that rang to me. Her talking about that, and I felt like she was talking directly to me. And she had a solution for me and tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people just like me, raising kids and trying to take care of elderly parents. So I'm really optimistic. I'm really looking forward to starting to look ahead and not in the past. I don't care about 2016. I don't care about 2020. And I don't care about Trump talking about that. I don't care anymore. I want to talk about all the good things that we have here in America. I want to talk about us all working together because we have big things we have to achieve. We have big things we have to do. We have infrastructure. We have roads and bridges and dams that we have to build. We have, down in Florida, we have all new homes and all new, I mean, it's about to get devastated by a hurricane. So, I mean, we have hundreds of billions of dollars we have to spend. We have infrastructure we have to improve upon. We have a lot of things that have to get done. And I'm excited about a future with President Harris. And I hope you are too, because I want to look forward to the future. And the future, I think, starts with Harris, not some 78-year-old man that's still pretending he won an election that everyone knows he lost. But let me know what you guys think. This has been the Dray Way. I'm glad you're here. 27 days away. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and check me out for tomorrow's show. We'll be 26 days away. But please hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. I really want to know. Thanks for joining me for the Dray Way. And tomorrow, we'll see you again. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.